So today I will compare two very popular gimbals, the well-known DJI Osmo Mobile 6 and the newly launched Hohem iSteady M7. Hi and welcome to the channel, I'm Ito, and today we will compare two of the most popular gimbals out there, the DJI Osmo Mobile 6 and the very advanced AI-powered Hohem M7. Out of the box, with the Hohem you get a very sturdy and durable case which will protect your gimbal and also have room for accessories. A coiled Type-C to go from the gimbal to the phone so you can charge your phone while shooting, a USB-C to A cable to charge the gimbal, and a tripod attachment. With the OM6 the box and packaging are smaller as you only get a Type-C cable for charging the gimbal, a carrying pouch, the gimbal itself, the tripod and the phone clamp. Obviously you get manuals with both gimbals, but who reads them anyway? Those are very different gimbals, but also two of the most popular gimbals out there, especially the DJI Osmo Mobile 6 and the M7, which was just launched last month. First thing that you will notice is the size difference between those two gimbals. As you can see, the M7 is significantly bigger than the OM6, but the OM6 has the advantage of being more compact and with the folding design, and you can even put it in your pocket. The M7 is more similar to a full-size gimbal, and it only comes with lockable access. Both gimbals have selfie stick style extension poles, but do you really need them? I say yes. Make a lot of the ground shots easier, especially that you don't have to crunch down as much, or vlogging style shots. I personally like the feeling I get with the M7 while shooting, as it feels more robust in my hand. On comparison, the OM6 has a slimmer profile. The weight of the OM6 is 328 grams on my scale. As for the M7, it's up to 650 grams. But you have to remember, the OM6 fits in your pocket, as the M7 is more similar to a full-size camera gimbal. Mounting your phone onto the OM6 is very simple. You just put the clamp on the back of your phone with the camera sign pointing up, unfold the gimbal, mount it, and you're good to go. On the OM7 things are a bit different. As the phone mount is directly on the gimbal, you cannot detach it. This also means that you can never lose it or misplace it. The M7 lets you do some adjustments for any uneven weight distribution. In the next category, the OM6 has the advantage. If you want to switch from portrait to landscape, on the OM6 all you have to do is press the button twice and it's done. On the M7 you first must turn off the gimbal, detach your phone, rotate the mount 90 degrees counterclockwise, mount the phone back and power the gimbal back on. Yes, it's a longer process, but honestly, how often do you switch from portrait to landscape or the other way around? Now that we talked about the phone mounting system, here is where the M7 truly shines compared to the M6, the payload capacity. The M6 supports a maximum weight of up to 290 grams, while the M7 supports up to 500. But what does this mean in your daily life as a videographer or as a vlogger? If you use the DJI without any accessories, it will work just fine. Same for the Hohem. The maximum weight of the 500 grams comes really handy if you plan to use filters and external mics on your phone, because the M6 will struggle, while in the other hand, the M7 will do absolutely fine with no issues. The mobility range of both gimbals is very much apart, as when it comes to the DJI OM6, it's very limited. This is one of the biggest downsides for the gimbal, and why personally I switched to the M7. This is the further the M6 can go in its pan mode, which is really bad. Well, on the other hand, the Hohem is in a completely different category, as it can do almost a 360-degree rotation. As you see, when it comes to mobility, the Hohem is a completely different league. The M7 can also do a full 360-degree infinite spin, while the OM6 is limited to about 270 degrees. The next category is very important, as is stability, where in 2025 and those days, all the new smartphone gimbals are capable of producing some very steady shots, and those two are no exception. So let's do a test while running. First it's me just holding the phone with my hand. Now, let's do the same run with the phone attached to the OM6. and again with the phone mounted to the Hohem M7. Both of them deliver amazing results. Sure, for really steady and smooth shots you won't be running, you will go really slow or do the ninja walk. Now we come to a category that is very much suited for solo content creators, AI tracking. Both gimbals have AI tracking for people and objects, but in two very different ways. To use AI tracking on the OM6 you have to use the DJI Mimo app, which I'm not the biggest fan of using because it limits a bit the quality of your video and it's no longer available on the Play Store for Android users. For iPhone users it's still there. But if you want to get it on an Android device, you will have to go to the DJI website to download it. You also don't get all the features that are available on the iPhone. I prefer to use the main camera app on my phone, and for the Hohem DJI it's very different, because you're not forced to use the Hohem Joy app or any other third-party app like the DJI. As tracking is not done using the camera on your phone, but by this little camera that is attached on top of the gimbal. Coming to this tiny camera, it's also detachable, so you can point it in any direction that you need. It works the same in landscape or in portrait mode. Next to the camera, it's a fill light that is dimmable and bright enough for situations where you might need some extra light. And you can change the color temperature from 2700 to 6500 Kelvin, and the light can also be used in RGB mode, without the need to place any color filters. The tracking sensor is what lets you track a person, and doesn't matter if you're using an iPhone or an Android device. Tracking is activated in multiple ways. You can use gestures or detach the remote from the gimbal, swipe left and double tap on the person that you want to track. On both gimbals, tracking works without issue. Here is me activating on the DJI Mimo app, showing the peace sign, walking around and even hiding behind trees. Even after I come back in the camera view, tracking resumes. Same goes for the Hohem. Tracking is activated using the OK sign. If you need to stop, just show your palm. On the Hohem you also have the advantage of the detachable remote that lets you see what the AI camera sees, or even control all of the functions of the gimbal remotely. Now, after a day of shooting, how much battery do you have left, or do you even have any left? The DJI has a battery life from 6 to 7 hours, which for some of you may not be enough, so have a power bank on you just in case. The Hohem M7 gets up to 12 hours of battery life. And yes, you might say, it's such a larger gimbal compared to the DJI and only 12. The previous M6 had a battery life of 16 hours. Don't forget that the payload on the M7 has increased compared to the M6 because of the more powerful motors and the extension pole. Those also take space inside the gimbal. But even with 12 hours, the M7 will allow you to take advantage of an entire day of shooting videos. Talking about the physical buttons on both gimbals, the placement is very ergonomic. The only flaw I have is with the zoom button on the OM6. It is very sensible, and sometimes you just want to fine-tune that zoom a little bit and go from 1x to 1.5x, but it jumps up to 3 times zoom with just a small input. To go between the different gimbal modes, you have the M button next to the screen, and also you get to see a symbol on the display that changes to let you know which mode you are currently using on the DJI. On the M7 you can choose between them again from the M button or select them from the main screen. You can also lock the individual axes. The joystick controls feel great on both gimbals, and the speed can be adjusted through the DJI Mimo app on the OM6, and the Hohem you can adjust them directly from your gimbal menu. Other features that separate those two gimbals, as they are very unique for each one. The OM6, it's its ability to fit in your pocket, and you also get on the DJI Mimo app dolly zoom, which is a really nice addition. On the Hohem you have the detachable remote and the AI sensor. Now, being in 2025, as we conclude this review, the big question, which gimbal should you get? If you don't plan of using external filters on your camera and want something that is easy to carry, it's ready to go in your pocket, get the OM6. If you want to use those extra filters on your camera, either mic, or you have a foldable phone and you don't want to rely on a third-party app to use all of your gimbal features, get the Hohem M7. So let's hear your thoughts down below. Regardless, it was very interesting to see how the mobile gimbal sector has evolved and what new features have been added to the table. Hope you all enjoyed. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, share your support, feel free to subscribe, and lastly, leave a comment. That will do it for today. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.